Time is 7:52. The first item on the agenda is roll call.
Alderman Rousey.
Here.
Alderman Hartman.
Here.
Alderwoman Bibbs.
Here.
Alderman Runyons.
Here.
Alderman Taylor.
Here.
And Alderman Maloney is absent. We have quorum, Mayor.
Thank you very much, and the mayor's here as well. The next item is the Pledge of Allegiance, so please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silent prayer for our men and women in harm's way, as well as our public safety representatives. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very, very much. You may be seated. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Do I hear a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Taylor.
I move that the agenda be approved as printed.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
Mayor.
Alderman Hartman.
Second that.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So tonight's agenda has been approved. The next item is approval of the minutes from the regular session, August 22nd, 2023. Is there a motion?
Mayor,
Alderwoman Bibbs.
I make a motion that we approve the regular session minutes for August 22nd, 2023.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
Mayor.
Alderman Hartman.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So the regular session minutes from August the 22nd, 2023 have been approved. There are no awards, presentation, or organizational business tonight. The next area is public comment. Anyone who would like to address the Board of Aldermen, you are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Please step up to the mic, state your name and address, and do sign in with Mackenzie at the table. It is 7:54. I declare public comment open. And I saw Chief and Chief kind of get up, but I'm glad that Chief and Chief decided to sit back down, so we appreciate you guys. I like your sense of humor. That's good. It is 7:54. I declare public comment closed. We have no public hearings tonight. The consent items, item B and C. Is there a motion for consent items B and C?
Mayor.
Alderman Hartman.
I move we approve consent items B and C.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderwoman Bibbs.
I second the motion.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So consent items B and C have been approved. The next area is ordinances. Is there a motion for bill number 7712?
Mayor,
Alderman Taylor.
I move that bill number 7712 be placed on its first reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
Bill number 7712, an ordinance authorizing a contract with Barclay Asphalt Incorporated for the construction of the 1102 Main Parking Lot Program and authorizing payment.
Any discussion?
It-
Alderman Taylor.
Yes, Mayor. I need help understanding this here. I'm kind of confused with this process. 1102 Main is part of Grandview's project, right? General contractor J.E. Dunn. How did Barclay Asphalt slip through the cracks and not have to bid on that? I thought all bids had to go through the general contractor, because I spoke with 2 electricians, and they said that they spoke with J.E. Dunn. They said you have to bid on that because that's the DMV. They told them to bid on the DMV and also the fire department at the same time. Now, I don't know how Berkeley Asphalt slipped through and didn't have to bid on this here, or anyone had to bid on it, you know.
So it's bidded with all our parking lot projects. So the bonds are issued in a way that general contractor is a general contractor for the building projects. Parking lots are completely separate. We're going to be replacing and fixing all our parking lots through this process so that those were separate projects. So J.E. Dunn is a general contractor for the construction and the renovation of the building, not the parking lots. Does that make sense? So we didn't hire them for this parking lot because it's a completely different expertise.
So it's
and
going to be the
that's
same thing for this parking lot? It's
That
going
is
to be
correct.
Barclay Asphalt's going to be doing all the
no,
parking lots?
we bid them.
It's going to be a bid, a
be a
separate
Yeah,
bid.
we will have a bid process, and they bid along with others,
Okay,
and
so
they're
no
the winning
parking
bid.
lots. Okay, the parking lot's not part of JE
No,
Dunn.
they're
Yeah.
not. They're not.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Taylor?
Aye.
Alderman Rousey?
Aye.
Alderwoman Bibbs?
Aye.
Alderman Runyon?
No.
Alderman Hartman?
Aye.
Motion for second reading?
Mayor,
Alderwoman Bibbs.
I move that Bill number 7712 be placed on its second reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor.
Alderman Hartman.
I second that.
Thank you.
Bill number 7712, an ordinance authorizing a contract with Barclay Asphalt Incorporated for the construction of the 1102 main parking lot program and authorizing payment.
Any discussion? I just have one, I don't know if staff or the residents realize that Barclay has been doing not only a fine job, but they've been taking the materials to the the amphitheater parking lot and storing them there as if you will, a foundation for when we actually do the amphitheater parking lot. And I'm not exactly sure if everybody knows that, but those of you who go to the farmer's market and so forth or pass by on buyers, you should see all of those piles that they are putting in there. And thank goodness that's something that we won't have to additionally pay for. Is that right, Doug? Or
Correct, yeah, this was material that had some dirt and rock in it, so therefore it could not be recycled into new asphalt. So otherwise, this material was going to end up in the landfill, and Jim Clay talked with the owners of Barclay and said, well, instead of this going to the landfill, we can use it in that parking lot and build it up. So it's those piles have been smoothed out, gone over with a roller. So when it comes to working on that parking lot next year, which will be a separate bid in itself, we were anticipating needing less asphalt because of the solid base that we're getting out there.
yeah, I mean, I think that is a benefit for the city of Grandview, 4 or 5 times over, which I think is very encouraging. So thank you, and thank Jim for that, because that helps us out down the road.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Occasionally, these architects come up with some good ideas.
Yeah. No, this is very beneficial for the city of Grandview.
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
tack on that, that stuff that you're putting down is leveling out that parking lot. When it rains, you don't have the puddles anymore.
Absolutely.
Because we used to have a lot of puddles on that parking lot, and now without that extra asphalt going down there, it's leveling out, and people can park there, because they really leveled out the front part of it right now, and they're started working on the back part, so it really does help.
Right, Barclay went out there on their own with some surveyors and surveying equipment, find out where those low spots were, and put in extra material there and got it to drain real well. So it's looking better all the time.
Good. Further discussion? Yes.
One more comment on the same subject. I had this conversation last week with Jim Clay. So between the Parks Department and the Public Works Department, they came up with this idea of compacting that area. Regardless of what we did to that parking lot, we were going to pay for this, right? Our agreement with them being able to mobilize in that location, they're going to compact it, bring the extra material. So, and I said, so we're doing all of this. In return, what do we get money-wise, right?
Yeah.
He was talking about a couple of $100,000s. That's real savings, and that's very timely savings.
No, it's very beneficial for the city of Grandview, no doubt whatsoever. Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Bibbs?
Aye.
Alderman Hartman?
Aye.
Alderman Rousey?
Aye.
Alderman Taylor?
Nay.
Alderman Runyon?
No.
Motion for final passage.
Mayor,
Alderman Taylor.
I move that bill number 7712 be placed on its final reading and said bill be enacted.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I'll second.
Bill number 7712, an ordinance authorizing a contract with Barclay Asphalt Incorporated for the construction of the 1102 main parking lot program and authorizing payment.
You can just do roll call
You
now.
can just say,
Okay.
Alderman Taylor.
Nay.
Alderman Rousey.
aye.
Alderman Runyon.
No.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
And Alderwoman Bibbs.
Aye.
So this does not pass tonight. Okay.
This bill has failed.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion on bill number 7713?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I move that Bill 7713 be placed on its first reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor.
Alderman Hartman.
Second that.
Thank you.
Bill number 7713, an ordinance authorizing a contract with In Situ Form Technologies USA LLC for the 2023 sanitary sewer rehabilitation project and authorizing payment.
Thank you. Is any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Rousey.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Runyon.
Aye.
Alderwoman Bibbs.
Aye.
Motion for second reading.
Mayor,
Alderman Hartman.
I move that bill number 7713 be placed on its second reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderwoman Bibbs.
I second.
Bill number 7713, an ordinance authorizing a contract with In Situ Form Technologies USA LLC for the 2023 sanitary sewer rehabilitation project and authorizing payment.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion for final passage.
Mayor,
Alderman Taylor.
I move that bill number 7713 be placed on its final passage and said bill be enacted.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I'll second.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Rousey.
Aye.
Alderman Runyon.
Aye.
Alderwoman Bibbs.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Ordinance number 7453.
Bill number 7712 has passed. Is now ordinance 7453. And those of you in the audience,
Mayor.
did I?
No.
Mayor.
No. 3.
Okay, 7713 has passed. Is now ordinance 7453. So the reason it's not 7454 is because the other ordinance did not pass. So this ordinance now is bill number 7713 has passed. Is now ordinance 7453. Okay? Now, is there a motion for bill number 7714?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I move that Bill 7714 be placed on its first reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Taylor.
I second.
Bill number 7714, an ordinance authorizing a contract with Advanced Rehabilitation Technology LLC for the 2023 sanitary sewer rehabilitation project and authorizing payment.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Rousey.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderwoman Bibbs.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Alderman Runyon.
Motion for second reading.
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I move that 7714 be placed on its second reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman
I'll
Hartman.
second that.
Thank you.
Bill number 7714, an ordinance authorizing a contract with Advanced Rehabilitation Technology LLC for the 2023 sanitary sewer rehabilitation project and authorizing payment.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion for final passage.
Mayor,
Alderman Taylor.
I move bill number 7714 be placed on its final passage and said bill be enacted.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I'll second.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Rousey.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Alderwoman Bibbs.
Aye.
Alderman Runyon.
Aye.
Ordinance number 7454.
So bill number 7714 has passed. Is now ordinance 7454. Is there a motion on bill number 7715?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I move that Bill 7715 be placed on its first reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Taylor.
I second.
Thank you.
Bill number 7715, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2024 budget of the City of Grandview, Missouri, and appropriating funds.
Any discussion?
Mayor.
Alderman Taylor.
Yes, sir. I'm kind of confused on 7715 because it looks that we have two 7715s.
Well, yes, the other one is going to be 7716. So yes, it shows on our record, it's both 77, but it's going to be 7716.
Okay.
Okay?
Good catch.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Any further discussion?
Mayor,
Alderman Runyons.
are we going to have another public hearing on the budget?
Another public
I
hearing,
heard something about that.
There'll be a public hearing next week on the tax levy.
but that's only
Yeah.
the levy.
That's different.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
outside the budget.
And you're right, we have to do that every year.
Sure.
That's a requirement. But that's after Jackson County gives us hopefully positive information that we can do that.
And Alderman Runyons, that public hearing is triggered by them sending us the final assessed valuation for the entire town.
Yeah.
We have not received that as of today, but my understanding is that we're going to get it by September 9th. We'll see where we are
Right.
at that point.
So this would be before all the appeals are,
The appeals will not be finished yet. There's some appeals going into later
wow.
this
Okay.
month. Yeah, that's correct.
And October also, if I'm not mistaken, Alderman Hartman, do you remember scheduled dates? Any idea? Like, was it October, September?
What's that now?
Appeals for the property taxes.
For the,
Were they scheduled for October?
some are
Yeah.
scheduled in
So
October.
it would,
There were some
far
scheduled for
past-
November.
Yeah, it would far past our fiscal year.
Yeah.
Yeah, some scheduled for
If we wait
November
for
as
them.
well.
wow.
So they're going to
we,
have,
we really don't want to
Yeah.
wait for them to.
And I can tell you the final levy will be different than
Yeah.
what was proposed and published. So
Sure.
because the numbers will change between now and then.
good. Further discussion?
I got another.
Yes.
Transportation sales tax is 10 million, and the capital improvement sales tax, don't they get equal funding?
They do. We've got quite a few grant funds anticipated in the transportation sales tax next year. Half of the project reimbursements for Blue Ridge, and then 100% of the phase for the earmark, the 4.6 million. So that's what's included in the revenues for the
So we're
transportation sales.
anticipating the 4.6 million from the Ridge.
Yes,
That
the
is
entire
correct.
project for next year.
Amen. We're definitely anticipating that. Congressman,
That's in there. Yeah.
Just to
Well, I probably have more than anybody else.
yeah, Congressman Cleaver has said that, yes, he has done everything he's supposed to do, and staff is working with MoDOT to make sure that it comes to the city.
So just to recap that process, this money is coming from the
Right.
federal budget that is earmarked specifically for Grandview, Missouri. It's trickling in through the MoDOT's process. So the money is confirmed available for this project. Anytime we need to spend these dollars for transportation-related expenses, it trickles through that fund. That's why that fund looks a lot higher. But next year or the year after that, it is going to correct itself depending on how we're spending that money. And or if we get more grants for transportation, that would be reflected in that fund.
Yeah, we're okay with receiving more money for grants and having a higher transportation sales tax budget.
Amen. Further discussion? You know, I want to say to staff, thank you guys for all the hard work. There was a lot of heavy lifting. Department heads as well, thank you guys too, because I know that there was a lot of opportunities to have all kinds of discussions, and we do appreciate this. And again, this is one of the things that we do every year, and we have to do every year by law, and it's the right thing for us to do. So again, thank you guys for all that you have done in preparation for the budget.
Much appreciated, Mayor.
Absolutely. Roll call, please.
Alderman Rousey,
Yes.
Alderman Taylor,
Aye.
Alderman Runyons,
Aye.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderwoman Bibbs.
Will you help him out down there, please?
I don't know.
Motion for second reading.
Mayor,
Alderman Taylor.
I move that bill number 7715 be placed on the second reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Bill number 7715, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2024 budget of the City of Grandview, Missouri, and appropriating funds.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion for final passage.
Mayor,
Alderman Taylor.
I move that bill number 7715 be placed on its final passage and said bill be enacted.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I'll second the motion.
Alderman Taylor?
Aye.
Alderman Rousey?
Aye.
Alderwoman Bibbs?
Aye.
Alderman Runyon?
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Ordinance number 7455.
So bill number 7715 has passed. It's now ordinance 7455. And thank you again to staff for all of the hard work and heavy lifting that has been accomplished. We appreciate that. Now, I, as a mayor, are going to say that this next bill is 7716. So let's everybody make sure we make the change. So is there a motion for bill number 7716?
Mayor,
Alderwoman Bibbs.
I move that bill number 7716 be placed on its first reading.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I'll second the motion.
Bill number 7716, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2024 classification and compensation plan and establishing the basis for employee pay raises.
Any discussion?
Mayor?
Alderman Hartman.
Jamal, I do appreciate bringing this to us and everything, and I don't know if this has been talked about before right now with the board. If it was, I missed that meeting. But I do have a couple questions, maybe comments about it.
Absolutely.
I think as an alderman, I think I should have more input on that rather than just bringing it to us and voting yes or no tonight. And I'll probably vote for it, but I think in the future, if you could bring that to us in a work session and say, this is what I think we need to do, you know, get some input from us. I know some people that work for City of Grandview. I might have some input, not just because of that, but several of the departments on the lower end, I might say, I think they need to be raised up more than you want to raise them up. So just a conversation like that. And the other question would be on your administration classification. I think that should be on there. I think that gives us a barometer of, like the other cities. I'm sure. Go through your analysis on how you did that. Do you go to MML or
Multiple sources, but I don't do that. HR does it.
Yeah, well, then they need to come.
Sure.
I think they need to come to us and explain that a little bit better. We're in a position where we answer to the public.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
and you know that.
Absolutely.
I know you know that.
I totally get
But
what you're saying.
if we were more involved or I was more involved, I would really appreciate that, because the questions I get sometimes I could say, well, I approve that. You know, I approved it before it came to the board. You know, we discussed that. We had those discussions. But just to come in here and want to vote yes on something that I had no input on,
Yeah.
you know, and that's just where I'm
No,
coming
I
from.
appreciate the comment. I want to point out one thing. These are not specific pays. These are ranges. So this talks about the position. Let's say this is a financial analyst. The minimum is X, maximum is Y. For the most part, these ranges are pretty much the same, because in order for you to get to the maximum, you need to spend about 25 years with us, right? This is what that about. If we're talking about the specific budgets with regards to employee pays, for the most part, department directors decide on who is going to be adjusted based on the market. Those recommendations comes from the department directors to HR. Then they look at the ranges and they make a decision. So what this is it's only the ranges. This has nothing to do with individual pays.
But just what you're saying now should have been said a month ago. I mean, bring it to us, discuss that kind of thing.
Sure.
Get our input,
Happy
then
to.
I don't have any problem at all.
No,
You know?
I'm with you. I'm with you. Happy to have, when we're having HR department's conversation, we'll bring this up to you guys to have a further input.
Further discussion? Alderman Runyon.
And I'll agree with what Alderman Hartman said. We should be involved in this. And just looking at some of this in level 6, he's talking about an equipment operator. Their pay range is from approximately $18 to $29 an hour.
And that's where the market is at this point. HR spends quite a bit of time on these ranges to be able to capture the market so that we attract the right experienced folks to our jurisdiction by comparing us with other cities, mark surveys, MML surveys.
True, but in regards, say, to a equipment operator working for Public Works, they can go in the private sector and start out a lot more than this.
So
And we've got to be, because they're hiring too.
No, you're absolutely right. But one thing I'm going to point out to you is this. Look, those of us, I had this conversation at KU this afternoon. There were some private industry representatives in that room. I said, if this was easy and profitable, you guys would be in this business of whatever we're doing. This is police, this is fire, this is ambulances, this is public works, and what have you. Where we shine on as public servants is the benefits. They can't match our benefits. So no, pay is one thing. Longevity and being able to work for us for a long time, as long as you're doing a good job, and get those benefits. And I'm talking about health insurance, I'm talking about retirement, I'm talking about some of the vacations and what have you. For the most part, those are non-existent. That's true when you compare to some of the private industry jobs. Look at it from this perspective. Kirk is our CFO, right? If he were to be in private industry, about 350 employees, budget of $65 million, he would be making a lot more too. And I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. But when it comes to retirement and the benefits, that's where we shine. And this is pretty standard for local government.
And I'll just go back to the equipment operator. In the building trades, we can't match this. We can't match what they give their employees. We couldn't even get close.
Definitely, especially with the prevailing wage, no doubt.
I mean, without the prevailing wage, because that's just a small portion of what they do. But that's who we're in competition with.
No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And also, I want you guys to, look, don't we all want to make more money? There's no doubt in our minds. Absolutely. Our staff, our folks do work their tail off. But if this is a competition with the private industry, they're a profit-driven organization. We're in a government business. There is a gap. There is a difference in between those jobs and the jobs that we're doing. Our appeal is longevity and benefits and a pension. For the most part, private industry no longer has pensions.
Well, it depends on the industry. Like I'm saying, with the equipment operator, yeah, the benefits are tremendous, and the retirements are better.
I hope you're right, and I hope that some of our folks are not hearing this.
Well,
If I
mean, they all know it.
If
Michael.
I may, one of the main.
Michael is representing HR.
Sorry, I'm with HR. I should start with that. One of the main differences in interviewing a lot of people who I'm competing against, because I do the hiring, I do the recruiting, and while a lot of those private industries do maybe offer, higher wages, one thing, I mean, in addition to what Jamal was saying about our benefits, our pension, time off, would be, we for the most part guarantee that kind of start and end time, where the private industry can't really do that. It's you're going until the job is done and going until that. we can guarantee these people time with their families, time away from the job, that work-life balance. In recruiting, in a lot of my interviews, I have found that to be, this is where I get a lot of my people from, the private industry, or a lot of our people from. And it's because of the work-life balance. A lot of the demands that they have in that private industry, that it's, enjoy your family, go home, recharge, and come back to work. That's something that I personally have noticed as well.
Thank
And
you,
he came
Michael.
from private industry.
Yeah. Good. Any other comments?
Yeah, I just have one comment. I noticed that some of the minimum wage is $14. Now, a lot of states, a lot of representatives are trying to get everything to $15. I would like to see that change to $15 as minimum. I don't think anyone is making $14 for Grandview. I don't think so, but that would be a good idea, start at $15, because I know the country's trying it. Different states are doing it. And McDonald's is paying $15.
Some of our hard to fill positions this year, we budgeted $16.50.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
we
right.
went over and above that in some of our maintenance positions because they were hard to fill.
Yeah, I kind of figured
That's right.
you
So
guys
we do.
did. Yeah.
We do. As I said, these are just ranges. This doesn't
Right.
reflect what truly they are paid. This is just a range.
It'll look good on paper if it says start at minimum $15.
That's right. And also, you guys made this happen literally when everybody was talking about minimum wage at the state level. Is it going to be $11? Is it going to be $10.50 and what have you? We proposed to you guys way higher than that. We said, look, market is going to shift. This is coming, as if we predicted this by looking at a crystal ball. It happened. Right now, $15 and up, that's where we're hiring people, especially the talented ones.
Further discussion?
And imagine, like, these positions, we're talking about somebody mowing the park.
Yeah.
Right? These are seasonal employees for us. That's a pretty good pay.
Yeah, Mayor.
Yep. Alderman Hartman.
To touch on what Joe was talking about, the private sector, the private sector, an equipment operator was on that equipment, hourly. If it rains, they're off. They don't work. So I know exactly what you're saying and what you're saying too, Joe. So our benefits, that's up to the individual. He wants to go to the private sector and make maybe more per hour. That's okay. But when he's laid off, he's not getting paid.
Not at all.
Exactly.
So we do not lay people off. So our
That's
wages
not in our DNA.
Are a little bit lower per hour probably, but our benefits more than make up for that.
Definitely.
Just what you were saying. And I appreciate that, Jamal. Ever since I've been on this board, we have made improvements on
Big time.
big time improvements on wages and benefits. So I appreciate that. I'm just saying, again, when I started, just bring that to us a little bit. Let us know a little ahead of time and get a little more input. That's all.
Duly
I'm asking.
noted. Next year, we'll have this discussion with the HR so that you guys get to see how we adjust these as necessary. The other point you made is, look, pension is a different kind of retirement. And so some of you guys are pensioners. You feel the comfort of it. Private industry, for the most part, steered away from that reality. And one other thing I wanted to remind the group, yes, our budgets has been growing, there's no doubt. And this team is working their tail off to get here, right? But don't underestimate median incomes are still at $49,000 in our town. So we need to be very cognizant of how these wages are reflected based on hardworking families bringing in $49,000 annually, right? So we watch all of those barometers to look at these compensation plans.
Further discussion? Michael, anything else?
Nope.
Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Bibbs.
Aye.
Alderman Rousey.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Alderman Runyon.
Aye.
Motion for second reading.
Mayor,
Alderman Taylor.
I move that bill number 7716 be placed in the second reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor.
Alderman Hartman.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Bill number 7716, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2024 classification and compensation plan and establishing the basis for employee pay raises.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion for final passage.
Mayor,
Alderman Taylor.
I move that bill number 7716 be placed in its final passage and said bill be enacted.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I'll second the motion.
Alderman Taylor?
Aye.
Alderman Rousey?
Aye.
Alderwoman Bibbs?
Aye.
Alderman Hartman?
Aye.
Alderman Runyon?
Aye.
Ordinance number 7456.
So bill number 7716 has passes. Now ordinance 7456. And we go to other business. Let's start with Alderman Rousey and work our way around. So Alderman Rousey, other business.
Well, the only other business I will have is about the farmer's market. Make sure that it's going this Saturday. Stop by. Getting close to the end of the season for a lot of the vegetables and stuff. So you may as well stop by and get them while you can, because they'll be short-lived. I think we got about 3 more weeks, and then we're done with the farmer's market. So we're asking everybody just to stop by and take a look if you haven't been there.
Good. Dan?
I'm good.
Debbie?
Did bill number 7712, did it pass? Mackenzie?
No.
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 It did not pass.
I thought we had enough.
Gotta
No.
have 4
No,
votes.
it got to have
We
4
only had-
votes.
You gotta have 4.
It did
We
not
only had
pass.
3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
And
in
that's
order-
why we had to adjust all the ordinances.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
because of that.
Alderman
Yeah.
Bibbs, in order for it to pass, either needs to get 4 votes
Right.
and
I got
or
it.
3-3 split.
So we'll just have to bring it back until we can get there. Joe?
I received the book about the history of J.E. Dunn last year, Compliments of Public Works, and it's leafing through it. One of the former Grandview mayors was prominently featured in that. Elmer Bishop, I think he was mayor in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
What a character.
Mm-hmm.
Good superintendent.
Yeah.
Excellent J.E. Dunn super. He did the AT&T Tower at 12th and.
Wow. If you don't mind, Alderman Runyons, if you don't mind sharing those pages, I'd like to read it myself too.
He was pre-Jan Martinet and Gary Martinet.
Yeah.
Yeah, mayor. So good. Thank you. Dale, anything
Yeah.
else? Staff, anything you have for us at, look like 8:30?
No, Mayor, we're good.
All right.
We're good.
Well, it is 8:30. Is there a motion for adjournment?
Mayor,
Alderwoman Bibbs.
I motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I'll second the
Good.
motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? At 8:30, we are officially adjourned.